I'd like to now go to the stage table from Unplug, who's going to swap out the laptops quickly. So I'm going to keep talking to you. So I can highly recommend if anyone is interested.
And that was from that time onwards. Without further ado, just to probably click through some legal statements before I start going into what we do. I guess you could read this later on anyway, but it's blah blah blah. You know, please don't hold us accountable for absolutely anything that we say today. All such as bunch of lies and what have you. But please don't hold us accountable for anything. That's what it basically says in short. But we have to be very clear because obviously we are currently in our pre-sale and private sale stage at the moment. So just kind of give you a little bit of a background about myself. So my name is Tyler Dada. I started getting into at the age of 9 years of age. That's what this is. Right, anyone who knows what it is probably experienced a midlife crisis right about now. Okay, so you must be over the age of 40, but this is the Commodore 64. This is what me and my brother started developing on. I was about 9, he was about 11. We used to tape drive, and you used to get loads of syntax errors. You just don't get a cup of tea while it's loading. It was absolutely bonkers, but it was a console to have, and I used to hate Amstrad. Amstrad was just the nemesis, the worst computer ever made. But what happened from the age of 16, basically what happened, I started to get pretty bored. I couldn't get a girlfriend. I was more interested in bonsai trees and coir carp and gardening, which is quite strange. It doesn't make much sense. You look at me. But I was more interested in getting into computers. I love computers. And what happened was that I started to get a modem, had 33.6K modem, and from there I started to do things like phone phreaking, which is basically making free phone calls. And then basically I started to get access into particular consultancies and particular banks by using a modem because the security was pretty poor. You used to have chap and pack back in the days and get really, I'm just geeking out here. But there was some really poor protocols and there was ways in which you can break into the system. And from there, what I used to do was basically spend time breaking into systems until one day I got in trouble. And then I started working for a consultancy, a Big Four consultancy in the city. And my job was to break into Citibank, Millfields of London and Lloyds of London on behalf of this consultancy. And that was with the first ethical hacking department in the UK. I didn't get paid as much as consultancy got paid, but it was good fun nevertheless. So what's happened now? I've been running a cybersecurity firm in the UK. We look after clients from Adecco, Interserve, Royal Mail Pensions, where we provide ethical hacking. Ethical hacking is basically getting paid by the company to break in, as opposed to not getting paid and doing it as a black hat. And so I've been providing cybersecurity services. And what happened is that every single time it came to doing a cybersecurity test, the cybersecurity audit that we done was only as good as the time that we done it. So if there's any security professionals here, any security professionals here in the house? About 4 of them. Okay, 4 or 5 of them. Okay, it's a small group. Don't worry, we're top. But what happened is that every time you do a scan, you go into a client site, you do the scan, you'll get out all your tools, you perform all the scan across the network, your Nmap and everything else, and scanning to find what IP addresses, vulnerabilities. And then at the end of it, you produce a nice, pretty PDF report with all these little colors on it, and you hand it over to the CISO, who then, or IT director or IT manager, who will then take that piece of information and say, great, I know exactly what my security looks like today. But that's the issue with cybersecurity. It's only as good as the time that you do the report. Because you have a phenomenon which is called a 0 day, and a 0 day means basically every single day a new vulnerability is coming out. Now, let's just look at how data has moved over the last couple of years. Now, consider an aeroplane, when it takes off, like let's think of a 787, when it takes off, on the black box, it records around 500 terabytes of data in one particular 8-hour flight. 500 terabytes of data. That's the same amount of internet traffic that went across the internet in 1991 in an over 2-week period. And that's just one airplane. So the life that we live in right now is that there's so much data and there's so much confusion that people are producing information in all types of manners. You know, for example, where we are right now is that we are getting so overloaded with information, but sometimes we can't work out good information from bad information, information we should just, listen to, information we shouldn't listen to. And I always say with a statement, too much information is no information. And that's what usually happens, is that most hackers like to hide under good data because there's so much data that's being thrown at people. So what's actually happened is I got to a point in time where I said, okay, right, I'm performing scans for clients. Clients are getting reports, but the next day there's a new vulnerability that's coming out. What do we do next? And so I thought, okay, let's start developing an application that clients can start to use, which we started to develop and write in C, and say, let's write an application that clients can use to tell them exactly what their security looks like on a day-to-day basis. So moving from a 0 hour or 0 day to a 0 hour, where we're able to tell clients almost immediately of the new vulnerabilities and threats that are coming through. So this is where we came up with the word uncloak, which obviously means to unveil or to take off. So the whole aim of uncloak is to tell clients exactly what the framework is. Another thing, when you work with enterprises, a lot of the enterprises will generally take IT solutions because they've got governance requirements like FCA, Sarbanes-Oxley, and MiFID, and there's a whole bunch of compliances just that they have to do. But the smaller clients are very much knee-jerk, very reactive. And if you take into consideration, 96% of all companies throughout Europe are less than 25 members of staff strong. And in the UK, we have 4.1 million companies that are less than 25 members of staff strong. But there are not proper security services that are available for that small number of staff. Not strong enough. Let's make it clear. Antivirus is not strong enough. The best form of defense is not to allow a virus or a piece of malware, a hacker, to get access to your machine and then your antivirus try and block you. You should be able to think about protection a lot further out the perimeter, outside of your office before it makes its way back in. So with Uncloak, what we've decided to do was create an application that is able to reveal the vulnerabilities, find the threats, and also protect yourselves as a client. Right, so what we found as well is that there's so many gaps in the business in terms of IT security gaps. I don't know many companies that have got less than 100 members of staff that have a dedicated IT security person. It's usually the IT person that is employed within a business that has to unfortunately become the IT security guru. It's an absolute nightmare. And if it's not the office manager that has to take care of it, it just wakes its way down further down the food chain. So one of the main issues is that loads of small businesses, and I'm talking about businesses that are SMEs, that's 1 to 250 members of staff, do not have proper IT security management. The majority of tools that are out there are pretty archaic, hard to understand, and hard to use. And also hackers, if you think about the ratios of hackers to white hat is someone who's doing it ethically, and black hat is someone who's doing it unethically. I would say for every person that's doing it ethically, it's a ratio of 1 to 10. So the fact of the matter is we are losing a battle right now. For every fix that we try and create, there's 10 other people at home trying to work out how they can break into your network. On an average basis, we probably get close to 1,400 attacks on our network every single day. And that's regular attacks that we have. And what we've also found is there's an absolute shortage of qualified IT security engineers, and so it's a great time if you are working in IT security because you should be in high demand. And Cisco recently said there's over 1 million jobs that are unfilled within IT security field itself. And we thought, how are we going to tackle and help to close the gap with our solution? We came out with, as mentioned, Uncloak. We currently have a demo that's currently running, demo.uncloak.io, which is available. We have a vulnerability scanner that's able to scan your network, so you can just put your email address in. Don't use a Gmail address, please, but a corporate email address. If you use Gmail, we will get blacklisted all the time, but we've actually blocked that in the code. But because you have to get right from Windows or Zero Amazon before you scan their network. So go ahead and actually perform that scan. We've also got black hat mode in there, and what that guys use, or what we used to use in the day. And also, it's a standalone system at the moment, but what we are going to be doing is porting it into EOS. The thing that we like about EOS is that complete as you can get, and what I mean by Turing complete is that you can almost run anything on it if you know how to code it, which is extremely powerful and extremely awesome. That's why we love EOS. And also, one of the great things about this is that the community is probably the strongest. Now, I look at all the other communities like Cardano and stellar, and nothing like EOS community. I was there last week in Hong Kong, and the community is so strong and on fire out there, and it's the same like that all over the world. So EOS is really probably the most amazing blockchain that I've come across in regards to community and capability. What we also will have is that the system will have what's known as, it will be API ready, so that means that we can interface with other third-party applications. So for example, we've already got clients and providers and vendors that want to, we can basically have this information that is pulled from their servers and systems into our system and tell clients about what data is leaking out of the business. We're all doing this under one single pane of glass. So one of the things that we have is that the whole idea, one of the things that we have is that there is strength in numbers. We want to make sure we get a network effect running in blockchain, which basically means the more people that use the same application or program is more powerful the program becomes. And so what we're doing is teaming up with a bunch of hackers, or white hat hackers that we embedded in our system to be able to secure and find vulnerabilities that are coming out. Now, just to kind of clarify, there is a difference between a vulnerability and a threat. And probably the best way to understand this is a vulnerability is like having a hole in your roof. Okay, so you have if a hole in your roof at home, that is known as a vulnerability. An asset, you could say, is like a piece of furniture in your house, like obviously your settee or what have you, that is an asset. And a threat is something that hasn't occurred but could potentially occur, so like rain. So rain isn't dangerous to your house unless it rains in the hole in your roof, okay? Makes sense? So that's the difference between a threat and a vulnerability. A vulnerability is something that you have an issue with, a weakness in your system right now, like a hole in the roof, and a threat is something that could potentially happen to your system. And with Unclog, we aim to be the weather forecaster. We want to tell you about the issues you've got right now in your system, and also to be able to tell you about the issues that could potentially come further down the line. Now, I'm not sure if you're one of the professionals here who works in a company, and if you work in the UK, everyone must have heard about WannaCry. WannaCry was an absolute nightmare. Now, I'm security cleared, so I work with British government, and I'm aware of some of the tools that they use, and obviously I'm under NDA and I can't talk about it, but I'm aware of some of the tools, the valency of the tools that they use. And for example, with when WannaCry came out, WannaCry was actually developed in the US, and it was designed to penetrate and get past antivirus systems and weak operating systems. Unfortunately, someone actually sold the code on the dark web, which obviously is a private hidden web, and sold that code, and then they put a Bitcoin key around it and then started to ship it out and encrypt data. 54% of all the hospitals in the UK got affected by this, and it was an absolute nightmare. Now, if they had used Unclog would have been able to scour the internet, the private and public internet, the dark web and the public internet that you use, and basically be able to report back to the clients that there is an issue that's about to occur in your system. And this is what's really special about Unclog, because we have an AI engine built into Unclog. And the AI engine is currently being used for traders. So an oil trader can use the AI engine, and what they can do is type a word into this AI engine. For example, they can type the word fire in, and it's able to differentiate between a forest fire and someone getting fired up at work. So, and that's called social disambiguation. And so there's some clever stuff in the AI that's able to work out what a word really means. So for example, an oil trader can type in the word coup, or type in the word fire, and be able to work out where a forest fire is occurring, and be able to place a, how can I say the right technical term, a bid on oil in a particular area before the price of oil goes up, because everyone else hears about the oil price, the fire. So for example, the AI that we're using is able to find information quicker, on 20 minutes quicker than Associated Forum, Bloomberg, and Reuters together. So we're using the same technology that we use in AI to be able to find new threats and new issues just as they come out. So as mentioned, we crawl across the internet. The dark abilities to have a whole bunch of keywords that we know the hackers are actually using, and we're able to put that in a system, and that system works in the background. So anyone who subscribes to our platform is able to find out about the latest and greatest hacks that are about to reveal and make themselves work themselves back into other companies. Just probably let me just kind of break down a little bit more in terms of how our system actually works. So no expense spared here. So in essence, obviously we've got Uncloak running in the middle, which is built in C, running on top of EOS platform. A client who's obviously top left is able to basically purchase tokens directly from a crypto exchange, our UNC token, or they can also purchase tokens directly from our platform. So they can use normal fiat currency, USD dollars and what have you, euros, to purchase tokens direct from platform, which then gives an ability to subscribe to our software as a service. From there, we're able to then basically obviously transfer the tokens into an account on the EOS platform running in Uncloak. What would happen is as soon as a client signed up, our system would automatically start to go out onto the public internet, the dark web, and also scan their environment. So this is all happening in real time. So as soon as a client signs up, we will then be able to work out what servers they've got, where the servers are located, workstations and what have you. Plus we'll also be going out into the dark web and pulling out information on the latest threats that are coming through. Now one of the reasons why we're using the blockchain, not just the blockchain, but using EOS, is EOS has got some amazing capabilities in there. So some of the capabilities obviously is permission access, so we can create certain levels of access depending upon the client rights, the rights that a client should have. And also, as we're pulling information from vulnerabilities to a blockchain, it's very important that we obfuscate or encrypt the data so the data can't be read. It would be an absolute nightmare with IP addresses made a blockchain and we've got hackers that can see all the IP addresses and then say, hold on, this is great. And it's going to be almost impossible not to be able to prove that everyone that we've got in our bug bounty or the bunch of hackers that are finding vulnerabilities, that all of them are known as good actors or working on the right side of the law. So it's very important that we demark or separate the information from clients from the hacking community. Another option that we've got within the actual EOS platform is obviously the ability to get access to processing, storage and bandwidth. And so really one of the main uses that we want to use EOS in is using it as a decentralized, extremely powerful computer. And obviously as more and more nodes come onto the platform, we're able then to become more and more decentralized. That means we can perform tens of thousands of scans and checks simultaneously around the world, as opposed to having to fire up in a public cloud loads of instances all the time, which is an absolute nightmare. So currently we're working with a number of clients. We've signed a partnership with Adecco. At Adecco, I do a lot of GDPR keynote speeches with Adecco. I'm not sure if you're absolutely completely bored of GDPR right now. I must get about 20 emails a day asking me if I want to opt in or opt out. I don't really care anymore. It's an absolute nightmare. But GDPR, it's actually forcing organizations to think about cybersecurity, and that's what's great for us cybersecurity guys, that companies have to now look at cybersecurity, because companies can obviously get fined up to 4% of their turnover or $20 million, whichever is the greater. Okay, and we don't want to be the company that is scapegoated and shown to be the example of not managing data. Now, for example, the Royal Free Hospital very recently, just before GDPR came out, gave all its information around kidney research into Google DeepMind, and got fined $250 for that. That same information had been given over without explicit consent. So right now is an absolute and very important time to make sure that your cybersecurity is absolutely up to scratch. And so these are some of the companies that we've worked with in regards to doing proof of concept tests and what have you. The cybersecurity market is extremely large at the moment, and there are plenty of opportunities. And I think with Uncloak, we really want to become one of the killer dApps on EOS platform. And the great thing about this is it's not like on other networks like Ethereum, where it sits as a layer on top of the blockchain. But with EOS, you can actually run the application directly within the blockchain itself, which is completely revolutionary. So in regards to business model, it is a software as a service, so it's a subscription-based model. We have an API, an open API, so we're able to connect in third-party systems. There's an affiliate marketing scheme, so because our aim is to sell to a few, sell to the many. What I mean by that is that we have a channel distribution model where we will be working with a number of resellers that will have the expertise to be able to push our application out. and also obviously the ability to upsell. So for example, not all clients can resolve the issues that are found in their systems. So there's no point in getting a security report and then you don't know how to fix your website server, you don't know how to fix your email server, and you haven't got the skills. So within our application in Uncloak, you can press a button and it will contact your channel partner, and your channel partner will then be able to resolve the issues for you, which then creates additional revenue for the partners that we're working with. Now, a question that we get asked all the time, and it does get a little bit boring after a period of time, is that everyone goes, okay, how are you guys different to Sentinel and how are you different to Polyswarm? Now, the thing for us is that we're an ecosystem. So in Uncloak, we operate as an ecosystem. There's no point in just having 20 different operating systems and 20 different solutions trying to work together. It's an absolute nightmare. If you've ever worked in IT and you have to work with so many different applications to do one particular job, it's crazy. And so we know about creating ecosystems and having a system that's complete, that any business can pick up this system, get access to the information they need to know about their network immediately. So we're the only company that's really pushing for AI, a bug bounty environment, and also a vulnerability scanner, all combined together. A lot of the other competitors that we know don't necessarily even need to have a blockchain. They'd be happy enough to have a database will do the job for them. A MySQL database will be more than sufficient, but we are actually using EOS for what it should be designed for, and that's what's extremely compelling for us. In terms of token model, obviously clients will sign up using Ethereum. Obviously Ethereum, in regards to our crowd sale, we are using Ethereum ERC20 based token. The reason for this is because Ethereum is still the most widely adopted token used for utility token on crowd sales. What we also have in the system is that the hunters or the hackers on our platform will get rewarded within the actual platform itself, and they can actually redeem those tokens on a crypto exchange and swap it back into fiat. So currently, just to come to a close, so our system is extremely flexible, grow as the network grows, we become more powerful as the network grows. We're future-proofed as well, so by running an application, it doesn't necessarily have to worry what application is running on. If it's a Windows machine, a Linux machine, it will work across all the operating systems that are there. One of the features that we have in our system is that we want to make sure that the reports are in plain English, so you can actually understand what the security report is actually saying back to you. And one of our announcements as well is that we've managed to acquire Asad Mahmoud, who's an absolute genius in blockchain and AI. He's been working on EOS from graphene days, so a long, long time back. Who's coming as our senior advisor, also a member of the crypto money team, along with Ian Galina, and they've taken interest in us, not just interested, they are actually invested in us, which is pretty amazing. He's also part from the IBM Watson team, which is like similar to like Bell Labs, who's the top team in IBM, and he's come to assist us and really help us move forward. We've also taken on Jay Chung, who's an amazing EOS developer based from in Hong Kong, who's come on as a developer for us. So that's expanding our team to over 16 members. We're based in the UK, we're established in Estonia, and we love the tech what we're doing right now. But we really appreciate your time and listening to us go over Uncloak and what we can hopefully do for you and how we can potentially work with you. But we'd be happy to answer any questions after this time. Thank you very much.
Questions, and then I can pop my laptop and okay, let me slide up to the next thing. Does that sound good? So I'm going to give you this microphone, and I'm going to take this microphone, right? We want to ask questions, okay? So if you have a question, you just stick your hand up now. I'll do my best to come give you the microphone. So good? Cool, good. Cheers. I reserve the right to moderate any questions if I feel aren't suitable or too boring. So hand up first, sir. So
Small question. You said you are working with Ian Galina?
Yes, Ian Galina and Asad Mahmoud of the quality.
Can you explain what happened? He got hacked. He was showing the private key of his wallet on the YouTube live stream, and he lost a couple of $1 million.
Okay, so what I understand of his story is that there was a lot of stuff flying around about whether or not he was trying to hide his money because of IRS was coming up. But what I understand is that it was a typical social engineering hack. Social engineering is the easiest way to get anything work, is through the people rather than through infrastructure. So basically what happened is that he left his password on, this is what I heard, he left his password on a university laptop, and then someone got access to his Evernote cloud account, and from his Evernote cloud account use the same password for everything. And the typical 101 in security is make sure you don't have the same password for absolutely everything. And supposedly that's how they broke into the system. Okay.
Alright, so I've got a technology question around the artificial intelligence. What platform are you using for that? And does EOS support that for you?
So we have to offnet some of the areas. So obviously anything we're in C, we can put into WebAssembly and we can run directly on EOS. But then obviously there's other areas where we've got some open source and open libraries that we use, so we have to offnet some of it. So, you know, things like Node.js and other bits and pieces that we have to offload in order to make it run and do its job properly. And obviously what you don't want to do is just be consuming so much tokens, just using CPU cycles on the platform itself. You have to offload some stuff. The stuff that we want to keep within the EOS platform is mainly around intellectual property. Because one of the things that we want to be concerned with is that if we have a hunter or a hacker on our platform that finds a new vulnerability, we write that into a blockchain, which is great from a PR perspective, because we can tell the whole world that we were the first to find that issue and it's written in a blockchain, everyone can see it. So, I mean, at the end of the day, we're not running everything within the blockchain. We'll offload some stuff, but the majority of stuff we're running on the actual blockchain itself. All right. Yes?
Hi. Yeah, I was just wondering what your USP is in comparison to existing products such as Nessus and Expose, which obviously run off the blockchain. So what's the benefit of running this on the blockchain to the customer?
Yeah, so for the customer, it's scalability. I mean, if you look at any time you run Nessus or Tenable.io, as they want to call themselves today, we've got 40,000 customers, hopefully we'll get there one day. But with Tenable.io, I mean, the thing about them is that you have to choose a particular instance within the cloud itself. So you have 4 regions which you have to choose from before you can do a scan. It's usually complicated and it's not designed for end users, it's designed for security professionals. So the aim for us is to make sure the issue that we have is that most clients don't have an understanding. Every business is separated by semantics and language. The better you know the language, the better you can excel in that business. And so for us at Uncloak, if we can simplify the language and make it easier for not just large clients and small clients, we can start to resolve security issues across the board. Because it's very complicated to understand Nmap, Tenable.io, unless you are an absolute security professional. So we want to make it accessible for everybody.
There was a follow-up comment, but I would like to suggest that you do that over a drink afterwards.
Okay. Sorry,
I would also like to be involved in this blockchain cybersecurity kind of conversation as well. Because I'm not going to say that. We've got 2 more questions, and then we're going to move on. So make sure it's good.
Who controls the supply of UCC, not UNC?
Okay, UCC, so we mine one time and that's it. So it's actually running within the actual EOS platform. So we manage this, we can't create any more than actually mine already, because we don't want to be in a situation where we have hyperinflation and we're producing more and more tokens on the platform. It doesn't make any sense. And obviously the platform is a dedicated proof of stake. So you create the tokens once and then run off the tokens straight away. And they can't be mined, which is the way we want to operate.
It's quick question. You could recognize about your business model and your competitor comparison. And is it available on your website or publicly?
The demo's available at the moment, so it's just basically a very high-level demo just to show a bit of capability in C, some scans. It's actually catching vulnerabilities right now. So it's available at demo.uncloak.io.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Taro. Obviously, you can actually, you can be sitting around to answer any more questions that you might have. Well, there's plenty of t-shirts, and I thought I should mention at this point as well that, yes, there are lots of t-shirts and hats outside on those tables out there, and you should take as many of them as you can carry, because I don't want to carry all of them. So, I'm putting my laptop back here because up next we have Rohan, who's going to tell us about Space Invaders game that he's built on EOS, which is going to be pretty cool. And also, I'm going to bring my cardinal rule, to any presentations, right? When you do presentations or like PowerPoint and stuff, there shouldn't be too much detail, the diagrams and stuff, right? And you should kind of deliver the message through your speaking or your connection with the audience rather than kind of graphical information in the presentation. But also, one thing that you never, ever do is have like an embedded video or some sort of moving graphic or whatever. It will never, ever work. You see people, they kind of wait there and they're like, oh, well, and then you kind of look to the guy back there and say, why won't it work? And so, tonight though, you're in for a treat because I'm going to break this rule and we're going to do a live demo of Romance Space Invaders game. So, actually, do you want to, should we do the live demo first? Go to the slides first and we'll do the live demo afterwards. Okay, it's going to be good. Right, here we go. I've got slides. Ignore that, don't look at any of my confidential files. So, here we go. Okay. Oh, where's Roman?
Hello. Hello, guys. My name is Roman. I'm from the EOS Authority. We built a Space Invaders game. It's a demo game. Shows the power of EOS, really. Just a quick show of hands. Has anyone seen the game so far? Oh, wow, that's amazing. Okay, that's a lot of you. Okay, excellent. So, I want to show you the game, but before that, I just want to quickly explain what's unique about EOS and give you a high-level overview of EOS. So these are just some of the features of EOS. EOS got high transaction speed. It's expected to have about 1,000 transactions per second when it launches. Inter-blockchain communication is amazing. It basically means that we have infinite scalability. So we have multiple chains all working off a single chain. And what I'm going to talk about is the 500 millisecond block interval. That's what makes EOS really fast. Something unique about EOS is security, delayed transactions. Basically, if you lose your Ethereum private key, for example, you lose all the funds in there. But with EOS, you can have delayed transactions. You can basically say, no transactions are allowed to go out of my account for about a day or an hour or something like that. You can set those time limits. Lost password recovery, you have multiple permission levels. So you have an owner key and active key, so you can actually perform actions. You can set limits in terms of how much EOS you're able to operate, buy or sell without any extended permissions and so on. Simplified contract development, I'll show you a bit of this as well, how quick it is to actually build these things. Floating point support is again for developers. Scheduled transactions are amazing too. And we have an arbitration process, so even if somebody actually sold your EOS and it's not in the parity hack, you still can get on spec. And finally, on-chain governance, which is really. So yeah, those are the high-level. That's like some of the features on EOS. Yeah, I'm just focusing on this one aspect, which we felt was really good. A few things before I cover concepts about 3 slides. So this is what a blockchain. Okay, this is how we represent a blockchain. Block 3, block 4, you have blocks. So this is the latest block on the right side, and you have each block references a previous block. If you have to change something on block 3, you'll have to redo everything. That's the actual core security model on a blockchain. So as you keep going further and further, it's almost impossible to change something in the past. So that's what a block looks like. Let's go into a block. This is a bit technical, but it gives you an idea of what makes EOS transactions fast. An EOS block is made up of, it contains it's a couple of layers. Blocks contain cycles, so there are multiple cycles in a single block, and each cycle contains something called shards. and shards contain transactions, and a group of transactions make an action. What is an action? An action is the lowest, it's the smallest little thing. It could be something like modifying an account, make a transfer from one person to the other. Some actions can also be read-only. The block time is set to about 0.5 seconds, which is 500 milliseconds. But you still can have multiple actions within a single block. Yeah. So just a few more concepts. There's something called a block time. On EOS, we have an upper limit of 0.5 seconds. So no block should actually take more than 0.5 seconds. We have an irreversible block. An irreversible block is when 15 of the 21 block producers basically sign a block, and from that point, that block's final. It takes just 1 second to make an irreversible block. If you send a transaction on Ethereum, for example, it takes a while to evaluate for confirmations and so on. With EOS, the confirmation time is a second, under a second. And the average transaction, that's the last point, is about transaction confirmation. You get 99% certainty on your transaction in 0.25 seconds of being complete. So that's it. So you understand the overall concepts now. They're basically really amazing speeds. So essentially an EOS block time is 0.5 milliseconds, and on Ethereum it takes 30 seconds, and a Bitcoin similar block would be 9 minutes. We were thinking of ways on how to showcase this, how to show people how quick it is. You could throw numbers like this, but then a real world example would actually make more sense. So if you were to like something, click on a like button, the instant you click on EOS, you basically get a confirmation that it's done. With Ethereum, you really have to wait for about 30 seconds. So if you click on it, you wait, and you wait, and then keep waiting. Eventually, in 30 seconds, you have, it's 30,000 milliseconds. You then get confirmation that it's in there. On Bitcoin, it gets 10 minutes, so it keeps going. You could probably wait for 10 minutes. But yeah, so excellent. So this was one way to showcase how quick EOS actually is. We thought of one other way, and that brings me to the live demo. Let's play this.
All right. So you just switch the browser, right? With the lecture mics on. Okay. So wait, if I click on this link here, do I click on that link?
Okay, perfect. So, let's hope this works. You can try this game at home or wherever. What you do is you go on to the website eosauthority.com/space, and then you enter. And now, basically, what we did is so you normally control a game by pressing the keys on the keyboard. Here you actually control a game remotely. Let me try it, hope it works. So once you go onto your desktop, you go onto this page. What this does is it creates an EOS account name. It creates a public key, a private key. So this is what an actual EOS account would look like. And take your phone, scan. Somebody scan it. Okay, good. Who's controlling it? I mean, you can please feel free to control it if you want to. Okay.
So how do I do this? So I'm going to
just reload the control. Let's just generate another. Does anybody want to control it? Yeah. Okay, good. Please do. Let me get another private one. Okay, one person, please. One person. Are you on the Wi-Fi network? Oh, good. So every time he makes a move on the phone, it sends a message to EOS, and there is actually a lag. You might not notice it, but he presses it, and then it goes over his phone's network. It goes onto the EOS blockchain, and then it gets to the browser. And I'm surprised he's not dead yet. Okay, so it's not terribly clear, but right at the top you have a score and you get the block number. So every transaction is written to the blockchain and then it comes back out there. So it's an amazing job. So let them over.
Okay, good. Let's go back to the slides. How do you make this work? I have a few more quick slides.
Yeah, so that was a game. I didn't need to use a backup video that we had in place. Great. And okay, yeah. Good kind of information. Okay, so I'd like to go quickly over how we actually build the demo. We'll dive into a little bit of the code so you can see how friendly it is, and it's not terribly hard for developers who have some knowledge coding. So most of the code right there, it's all a lot of lines of code, but most of them we're getting the browser to synchronize with the mobile and all of that. We use something called WebSockets. Then there is a lot of code to generate the public key, private key pair, and and lots of web technology in there. What I'd like to focus on is the smart contract part of the whole game. The whole smart contract is about 50 lines of code, and that's all you really need to get all this running. And the smart contract stores all the players who are actually playing, what the last move is, and so on. We'll just go through that quickly. This is a whole entire code. There are like 3 sections. Section number 1, 2, and 3. Section number 1 is what is actually stored in the blockchain. It's a C++ struct, and you have the second one is how all the moves are written into the actual EOS blockchain, and the third step is how we actually remove sessions. So in case somebody's played and they've stopped playing, we just take them off to free memory space, which is important in EOS. You actually pay for RAM. So I'll just go through 1, 2, and 3 quickly. This is what you store. All we need to store in this smart contract is what your account name is and what are you moving left or right. So that's what goes into the memory. And this is how we make a move. So the first step in the function is a require auth. So we verify that you actually have the private keys to the account, and then we find you in the contract, and then we set your action. So that's about it. And the remove action is like take you off the memory after you've disconnected the game. So again, we verify that you approve to be taken off, and then we find the recorded memory and take it off. And so that's it. So that's the code. Just a couple of slides more. So this is amazing. Apparently, I can see a lot of games coming up. You can have like really massive multiplayer online games. Along with virtual worlds, you can actually have at the moment you can actually duplicate things online. But here you can, if I have something, I can actually just give it to you in terms of virtual world. It will be really interesting. I'm sure there will be lots of cool games and things coming up in the next few months. Hackathons coming up could be very interesting. I expect to see a lot of amazing things coming up, and there are awesome possibilities opened up by technology like this. And there will be many more to come. So that's everything. Any questions?
find it is easy. I use a little bit of C++ knowledge. I was a C++ for like 2 years. And all I learned was, I don't really know anything about C++. So, if you've got any questions, stick your hand up and I'll you first and then you afterwards. There you go.
Thank you. Really just wondering about where the scalability issues arise or how it's dealt with by EOS. So CryptoKitty is on this platform. How will you deal with that? Everybody starts, it's not fast necessarily as you say, but it's reliable in terms of transaction pricing. So if it's free, what is free per transaction? How do you stop the tragedy in the commons?
Okay, so with EOS, you pay for RAM. So you actually pay for, this is, in this game, if this game was to go live, you pay for two aspects. You pay for the RAM, the amount of, if you have 100 people playing the game, you have 100 rows in the memory and you have the last action. So it's not a lot, but you didn't pay for anything else. So you just buy RAM and then it scales based on the transaction. So does that answer your question? So Ethereum is like 30 transactions per second. This is like 1,000 transactions per second on launch. So that is a good and pretty fast.
Yeah, I guess we're just looking at a system which is not under load yet, right? So trying to imagine are you doing simulations already? How do you reassure us that once you get serious?
Yeah.
The performance.
So we have like a B2B network-based transaction, and then those loads are tested not in the real world, but in under test conditions. Already hits 1,000 transactions per second at worst case scenarios. There's already things like inter-blockchain communication built in, so I would expect over a year's time or something to have like 1 million transactions per second. So
that's the same question, but how complex can these games get? Realistically, how complex can these games get?
These apps, yeah, pretty complex. So this is fairly simple. So did you say how complex can these apps get? Yeah, I would say you can keep building all kinds of things. This is it just stores who you are and what action are you moving right or moving left. So you can have like really vast databases, lots of different things you can track all. Yeah.
And how, in future, will the graphics be handled?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So I think I should explain this. So the whole game works on your browser. It uses all your resources on your browser. It's just the actual move, that where am I going? Am I going right? Am I going left? All that bit is actually stored in the EOS blockchain. So
your PC if your PC has all the graphics cards.
Exactly. So you can make really nice interfaces, do all kinds of things on the PC, and the EOS blockchain tracks who owns what's the last move, and you can actually.
I'm amazed that the demo went so well that someone in the audience could actually play. And so now, thankfully, we are coming towards the end of the agenda. It's 8:20, so we've got this place until 11. I suppose, I'll add lib for a bit. I won't really. One thing to mention though, the drinks are free until the specified set budget that we had runs out, at which point it will become a cash bar in here. Now, traditionally as well, we go to the pub afterwards. The suggestion is that we go to the pub, the Globe, which is kind of near Moorgate Station, which is going to be convenient for everyone. So just as a matter of kind of logistics, that's hopefully where we're going to go. I've never done it up on a Friday before, so it might be really busy. They might not let me in because I've got holes in my shoes, but we'll see. But now, though, it's my pleasure to introduce someone called Jess Holgrave. Am I saying that correctly? Yes. And so I've met Jess a few times. We've actually seen each other the last 2 nights in a row because we've been doing lots of events together. And so Jess does all sorts of things, but she's good to talk to us about kind of inclusivity and diversity. So that would be great. Would you like to move on? Okay. I'll give you the microphone. You can introduce yourself, and I'll do the stuff.
Hi, everybody. Great to meet you. My name's Jess Holgrave. I am the co-founder of Codex Protocol, which is a decentralized asset registry for art and collectibles, and I'm involved in a number of other great projects in the space. I know everybody is dying to get to the bar. I've run out of my wine at the beginning of the evening, so I am too, and so I won't take too long, but Angus really kindly gave me a few minutes this evening to speak to you all about something that I care really passionately about. My businesses in this space are what I do on a day-to-day basis, but what I also try to do and incorporate into my day-to-day life is the practice of diversity and inclusion in everything that I do. The Satoshi's female t-shirt that I'm wearing kind of gives it away, I think, a little bit how passionately I feel about the space. I originally came from private equity, which is pretty well known for being male-dominated and a jolly nasty place to work at sometimes. My favourite story of being in that environment was when I was in a board meeting about to sell a multi-billion-dollar business, and that my counterpart told me that he had run out of coffee. And I don't drink coffee, and I told him that. And the cup of coffee that he got was definitely the most expensive cup of coffee anybody had ever bought by the time he bought the business from me. When I found blockchain, I had this idea that this was something that could be different, that it was going to make a difference. And aside from the odd rogue investor who invites me for investor meetings in their hotel room, I have found it to be different. I found it to be inclusive and welcoming, and when I turn up in a room like this, I get a great reaction rather than the reaction of what is a girl doing on stage. But that doesn't change the fact that there aren't enough women in the space and there is not enough diversity in general. And I say that with a really heavy heart because I think this technology has so much potential to change the way that we used to do things, and it's not happening fast enough in my opinion. I asked 3 questions. Why is it important? Why is diversity important? Why isn't there enough diversity? And finally, what we can do about it. And I think that last thing is the key takeaway from tonight. I'm a big believer that technology inherits the biases of the people who built it. And we are rebuilding our systems right now. We are moving from Web 2.0 to Web 3.0. And it would be a huge shame if we were building the same institutions, the same mechanisms, the same biases in Web 3.0 as we have done before. And I think that's why I feel passionately about diversity. Diversity in terms of background, in terms of gender, in terms of education, in terms of belief systems, all of these things, because if, like, EOS's main mission is to bring blockchain to the mainstream, the only way we can do that is really by building something that really is for everybody this time. I'm not going to bore you with statistics, but I am going to tell you a couple. Only 23% of all people in tech that were surveyed last year as part of the ISACA survey reported that they think men and women get paid equally based on merit. That was reporting coming from both men and women. At Georgetown University found that women in STEM get paid $16,000 less than their male counterparts. Black and Hispanic men get paid $14,000 less than their white male counterparts. And only 8% of women say that they've never been, and this is specifically in tech, say that they've never been sexually harassed in the workplace. So there is a problem, and we do need to start doing something about it. And one of the things I want to leave you with is what you personally can do about it, because I really believe that every one of us has a responsibility to make a difference here. I have 5 things. You can just remember 1 or 2, and that will be great. The first is education. There are some amazing programs out there which are designed to help women access STEM education. Code First, Women Who Code. Look them up. There's one wherever you live and whatever you do. And I really encourage you to support those institutions, either financially, if you're in a position to do so, or with support in any way you can. The second way to do that is through mentorship. And so go to one of these institutions, find a woman who wants to get into this space. If you're fortunate enough to already be in this space, share that. Share that with young people, women, people from diverse backgrounds. It doesn't matter, but we are all, by virtue of the fact that we even sat in this room, in such a fortunate position, and we should be doing something to bring more people into this space. And do that when you're hiring too. If you're a founder, make it proactive to try and hire people. I don't believe in positive discrimination, but I do believe in working with to present you some female candidates. Even if that's just giving them job experience and interview experience, you're making a difference. And make sure that that is something that's adhered to throughout your workplace, and that you are remembering your own biases when you're interviewing people. We all have a tendency to hire in our own image, and I think recognizing that and taking that when you go into a job interview, when you're interviewing people, is really important. 2 more, invest in women. Not only because I think it's a good idea, but because statistically a female-run business in the same sector is 70% more profitable than a male-run business. And yet they only access between 4 and 6% of equity investments. So if you're not investing in women, you're making a big mistake financially, not only from the perspective of increasing diversity, but for your bottom line. So actively seek investment. And if you don't know how to do that, there are projects like Invest Her, Satoshi is Female is another campaign that I'm involved in, which help people to direct equity to women who can make a difference. And I would really encourage you, anybody in the room who is in a position to be investing, to focus on that too. And finally, I would ask that you are just conscious of what's happening. I am always amazed by people who approach me to speak at an event, and then I ask them how many women spoke at that conference last year, and they tell me 2% of speakers. And it's a problem, it's a real problem. So whether you're speaking at an event, whether you're organizing an event, whether you're hiring, whether you're just thinking about how you interact with people on a day-to-day basis, please bear it in mind. And I want to end this on a high note because this is what we're all here to do. And what we should be doing is celebrating diversity and really helping to grow the space, because it's not a zero-sum game. We are all here, and the more we push this technology out, the better we're all going to be. And so I leave you with that thought that we should, in the name of taking blockchain to the mainstream, that's one of the ways that we can do it. So with that, I will let you all get a glass of wine or a beer or whatever else you're drinking this evening. And thanks, Angus, for
brings us to the end of the formal agenda, and so I've been told that we're very close to running out of the pre-paid-for alcohol budget, so we should probably get to the bar and drink it dry quickly. Thank you all for coming. As I say, come talk to you about EOS, blockchain, cybersecurity, gaming, and/or inclusivity and diversity tonight if you want. As I said, please give me a beer first. So yeah, that's it. That's all. Please take more merch on your way out as well. Take a T-shirt and a hat for a friend, and see you all on the 4th of July, which is our next planned event. Thank you. Bye.
What's the plan? You guys going for a drink or heading off?